Okay, so they've moved the pedestrian crossing to here rather than up here. And they have closed off pedestrian access to get into town from here. So what have they done? They've moved the pedestrian crossing further down there. And they have here. Oh, so they've taken out the rail. So we now have further access. That's why they had that grinder today, didn't they? There goes the train. And I'm standing in the middle of the road because there's no traffic. Oh, sorry. I'm just messing around with the camera. So right, footpath closed, pedestrian crossing further down. Okay, that makes sense. Is it going to work? Guess we'll find out, won't we? Oh, God. It also means that we are now walking across the grass because we don't have access to a pavement. So we are having to walk between the trees on grass. Let's hope it don't rain too much. And seeing as it's dark, I have no idea where the roots are to the trees. That's all I'm going to say about that one. It's about quarter past 6. Still on the Tuesday evening. This is still day 2. Train's just gone again. But you can get through there. Interesting. Right. This is the third time today I am walking into town because it is the full council meeting this evening, public meeting, and I'm going because of the finance audit. So, come on guys, prams, walkers, oh dear, disabled, you know. That is not the best. Evening, I wondered if that was you. How you doing? Not too bad, not too bad. Thought I'd come and see the evening stages of the old changes. Did you go across that dark bit where the grass is and the roots of the trees?
Yeah, not the best side.
No.
Is it to,
no, that needs
pedestrian access.
But yet they've opened the other side of pedestrian access to get to the skate park, but that doesn't even make sense.
Most people don't go that way, do they?
Well, not if you're going for the train station, which after all, I thought the train station was one of the pulls to the change of it being pedestrianised better.
I'm not quite sure. You go past the current crossing and they've got a set. And then when you cross the road, it doesn't actually tell you, well, unless I missed it, am I supposed to turn right, go down to, I don't know, wherever the car dealership is, and then turn left and go all the way back to the car park, maybe?
I think a lot of people are trying to work that one out.
There's no actual defined route, is there?
No. And this is the 4th time I've been past it today, and it keeps changing every time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think they are trialing and testing things to see what works, what don't work.
Oh,
Well, that must be, because earlier when I walked, they had all the wires in the part of the road that was sealed off from the traffic lights, but you had to walk over those wires to get to the other side.
quite a lot of time in the planning. You would have thought they worked out by now.
You would, wouldn't you?
Perhaps
Especially for that
that's why they need
cost.
24 weeks. The first 4 weeks is to work out how to close the road.
Where, yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. So this evening, it's the old finance report this evening, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yep, so I'm on my way now. Are you coming along?
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep. Yep. Following the audit report down to the T. Also would like to know what dates have been made for the current councillors and their training. Have you put any in?
Very good point. Not that I've seen come through since we were last together.
Well, I want to see dates and I want to see attendances.
That's a very reasonable request.
Yep, absolutely. And then I see old events on Thursday, isn't it? Events and tourism. Are you coming along to that?
No, not involved in that.
Oh. So I thought you were there last time. Or were you not? Oh. I think I'm getting muddled up with the amenities.
Yes.
Yes.
London Communities is on chair that one.
Gotcha. Have you just noticed how many, well, not how many, but the less cars there are on the road now? It's like they're all avoiding North Walsham.
Well, I suppose the diversion takes you either that way, doesn't it, Munsey Road, or all the way along
Yarmouth Road, isn't it?
I came past it yesterday and I thought I should have put some temporary lights on that junction to make it safer.
Well, I might still need to.
After you.
That's right, I'd just like to get my first shot in. Just like that. Then I know where to put the writing.
Ah, I see. Okay, gotcha.
After you.
Cheers.
Hello, Eric,
Hello.
hello. Yes, I am the first.
What is this?
It's 25 pounds now.
Hello. There we are. Key. That's it.
I need to catch up with you, Eric, when I next see you out and about. Have that good old chat about. Yeah, I think that'll be a good chat, you know. Something we can learn from, I think.
We shall see.
Well, yeah. Sorry, I just need to take my coat off. Oh, dear.
You have a good break? Paul?
Yes, it's very nice. Thank you. I woke up on the 23rd and went back on the 2nd.
Nice.
We were due to work until mid-afternoon, Christmas Eve, and then we got an email late Friday saying, oh, no one anybody coming in Christmas Eve, just take the opposite. Which was very welcome.
Yes.
Hey, Wendy.
Otherwise, on the Christmas Day, I was outside starting to build my new fence.
Do you think we should get another headlight?
So once again.
If it's easy, really, just do that.
Well, I'm pleased I did it because it's been a bit shocking and wet and horrible ever since.
How you doing, all right?
Yeah, you're right. Did you have a
Yeah.
nice Christmas in the end?
Yeah, did you? Good.
Was it bad?
It's just taken me a little while to get back into the swing of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
This thing could confuse a stupid first and it's about to. See, if you'd have told me it's what you thought in ignorance, I could have confirmed that based on the script. Hello. Oh, yeah.
I never say that, I don't know what. I never say that. Yeah.
You want it round that way?
Yeah, should we put it next door to that one? I'm not too sure who's coming, there'll only be, Barry's not coming, he's giving his apologies.
Right, okay.
Paul, Bob,
Tracy and
Tracy,
the other four.
Paul Martin here.
Have you seen Gary lately at all? Or no?
No, I haven't actually, last time I saw him was just before Christmas.
Yeah, because I saw the defence.
Yes, I do, yes. Anyway, he's on the phone and he's actually
Right.
I'm getting as we go.
What the roadworks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I texted Hayes, and the road is shutting numbers as well, it's going to Alsham.
No, I went into Norwich by bus in and out today, it wasn't too bad actually.
That's
No, I went by bus to Norwich,
to Norwich,
back
yeah.
on the X55. Wasn't too bad actually. There wasn't many people on it when I went in at 12:30, and it was, I was dropped off by the people within 40 minutes. Because what they do, they go down New Road, down Bluebell, back to Crow Road, and out to Lingate Road.
Yeah, because
And
they
then
are
come
going
round,
home.
and they'll come round the bypass.
So they're coming along, turning right,
Yeah, yeah. But the problem is when I come back, because I'm down where Tracy is, there's a bus stop there, you can't get off it.
I knew you were going to say that.
I think what they're doing is they're encouraging the drivers to drive a bit quicker because of the extra time.
Yeah.
And some of the buses are not really
They're not backwardly coming forward with their driving
You can sit in the middle, but would that be easier? You've got it in mind, that's fine, it's not 1.6, isn't it?
Does anybody want a drink?
Got those.
Sometimes it does not much on you.
Yes. There were the days when nobody knew afterwards, unless it was in the minutes, what was said and not said. I'll go down. No person blue making contact with James. Hopefully next week to ask for some park to be put on the Vicarage Street toilet. Go.
They have that chickens, don't they? Is that what they use?
Because we're starting to move the shrubs now into that, so you need to get on with, hopefully growers will give us some sort of.
Did you get this one in Trinidad?
We got that out the back,
Oh, is that okay?
which was an interesting story because they said they supplied it, no, I couldn't find it. But then I did. And they said and then I spoke to Jasmine and I said that bag out there belongs to us. And said, we wondering what had happened. So the lorry drove up, loaded this thing off, and, oh, who's that? Yeah. So there we are. Is it
delivery.
yes. Right, is it time to start? Or we're going to wait a minute?
Yes.
6:30, right. So the only apologies we've got for absence is Barry, isn't it? That's what I can think of. Thank you very much. Do we have any declarations of interest? Not aware of it.
I don't think we'll be for this one.
No. Right, then for those that were here from the Finance Committee meeting of the 11th of November, we've got to approve those minutes which are in front of you, so that's straight in the board.
Acceptance.
So proposed by Paul and seconded by Tracy?
Yeah.
Anything I hope somehow that we can convey to the children today that they want the money we wish to give them, they're going to have to supply the appropriate funds. I don't think there's any updates at the moment is it, from those minutes that I can see on. But the budget, we've approved the budget, and that's all been properly minuted. And I have asked for the budget report to be attached to the minutes as recommended by the auditors.
The only thing is we've got to change the budget report, haven't we, because we've new budgets and not allowed.
Well, we'll come on to that, yeah, we'll do that later on. We'll have to be amended the reserve statement because we'll have a clearer position by the end of the financial year. What money, what the balance is, and therefore what's in the reserves. So we can do that then. Right, to receive the external finance review report and agree the actions. Right, there is on your list, Bob, there is 36 recommendations. So the full council has accepted the proposed actions at its last full council meeting. Well, it's our job now to go through this and to determine, if we can, what actions should flow from it. There is, apart from the 36 that there was one you missed off of, which I'll just deal with at the end, which was purchase invoice retention, which I think we could not approve. But anyway, we'll get down to these. I don't think there's any need to get involved in a discussion on staffing matters, but please remember there is a member of the public present, so if we just need to be careful what we say in that area if we have to. Right. First one is payment approval. Wendy, my understanding this is now completed.
Yeah, it is. Two councillors sign them. It's usually Bob and Eric that sign the invoices. I've got dates down. And I've just got to amend the financial regulations or we'll just add Jess onto them because Jess now signs. She sets payments up and I authorise them because she's not paying.
So how many signatories do we have?
So I've removed Laura. So there's Bob, Barry, myself, Sherry and Jess.
So you need to amend the finance ranks to reflect.
Yeah, to reflect Jess being added on.
So that's an action to put on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's two council signatures to approve the invoice, and then there's another two to approve its payment backs.
So all payments go to full council to be approved, but I do like to have signatures on the invoices as well.
Which is what Robin will do. It does give me a picture of what's going on visually.
Yeah, the report suggested action, so you don't need to do that, but I think
I
it's a decision.
think it's the right thing to do.
Yes. Right, so that's that one, so it's completed, subject to amending signatories and financial.
Yeah, so if I get a chance, I'll go do them and then I can bring that to full council at the end of the month.
Right, okay. Right, the second one is back. The now closed NatWest account was operated via RFO for a personal mobile phone, timing appropriate, etc. Any mobile phone use for authorisation must belong to the council. What we've got here is the new Unity bank account has more secure control, so issues should not reoccur. So that's the first part of the action. I understand, but Wendy, please help us, that this is not the case and that part is.
Yeah, it is. When we log on to Unity, they send you a code. At the moment, because our mobile phones are only just set up, the code does come to our phones, but then we do go onto the computer to do all our payments. But now we've got our office mobile phones, we will change them, yeah.
And that phone will stay in the office.
That comes home with me night times, but then it's back in the office again because I take it home just as an emergency contact. It's the office phone.
When I approve payments, that comes to my private phone, doesn't it? When you
Yeah,
approve
it
wages.
does.
So should that not do
You
this?
may therefore need a phone.
I'm in the office when I do it, so.
You're in the office when you do it, so yeah, we can.
So it's your
We'll
preference.
change yours
Yeah, okay.
to that phone. Oh, and we have got a landline, so it can come through to
Yeah,
the
and I
landline.
can't access the account, so I'm purely approving that transaction.
Yeah, to say that that's you.
Yeah.
So you have
Verify
access
who you are as
who you
opposed to
are as a
access.
person. And sometimes it is quite good at going to your mobile phone because our personal addresses are on the Unity when they send out codes and things, they go to our private addresses.
I think when it's just a code, that's probably fine.
Yeah, it's just a
There's
code
no
to
detail.
verify who we
There's no
are.
access to the bank itself.
No. Well, you get the code, that sends you the code through, then you put the code into your computer and then you get onto the bank, is that okay?
Yeah.
So the thing there is that's completed that part of it.
Yeah.
Right, okay. In terms of whether there's any potential staff issue, it seems to me that that's to be determined at a later date.
Yes, I agree.
Are we content with that?
Yeah.
Right,
Shall I bring that bit to the full council meeting then?
all the recommendations, I think.
No, this bit about staff, because you said it's got to be
I
determined.
think Chair, we can talk about that at the end in private.
If we need to, but
Yeah.
all I'm really looking to full council is that probably they will just need this. And what our decisions are tonight for each of these, Wendy, that just goes to full council. So if there's any more discussion, we can say it, but at the moment it stands as to be determined at a later date.
Those staffing issues related to the bond use of that West Fund, which we're not doing now anyway.
Anyway, can't do anything about that. Right, grant application form. All forms should be published as PDF with editing copies provided on request. Wendy, I believe
done that,
this is going
And
to
that'll be done from going forward, yeah.
that's going to
Did you amend the forms as well? 'Cause we
Yeah,
used to speak about-
they needed to be PDF forms, yeah, I did
No,
raise
I thought you said there was some difference between the grant form and the donation form or something. Because we did speak about needing to make sure the two.
Yes, I did,
That's
because,
it.
yes, because we've got grant forms, I don't know about the donation forms, I'll have that.
Just a query, Chair. Have these forms been created as editable PDFs? Make life easier for all
I don't know,
clients.
I think they are because they're like the co-option where they can pull it up and edit it.
So we
I'll
should
check.
share on that. Just makes life easier for everybody.
I think what you raised about the current 4 or 5 bodies that are in the core budget for donations, I think what's got to happen there is that in the new financial year, a letter's got, or email's got to be sent to them all to say that this is what we require before your donation can be released.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. If it's already been received, then please ignore. But in order to receive that money, this is what we require.
Yeah.
So if we could put that in the action, that would be possible. Really.
Email, and there was 5 of them, wasn't there? 5.
Well, I think it's 5. And then there's no ifs and buts. Right. 4, the council has adopted the 2024 model financial regulations, starting to follow them. Right. It says here to review financial policy. These are the 2024 regulations and amended if required. Seems to me that at some point this is a report that you'll have to do with
Yeah.
the finance committee,
Yeah.
and you'll have to come to us.
I think what's happened in the
Council
past,
for
because councillors have gone against quotes, which is not acceptable. It has to be done in the office and they have to be redacted. The quotes have to come to you redacted. And I know I found that. But you should, as councillors, you can't be, everything has to be transparent. You can't be predetermined. You have to not know who the quotes are from at all.
Yeah.
So you can make a honest judgment and you're not favouritising one from the other. And also, I can sort of recommend, but I can't persuade you, I can't say you should go with this one because we used them previously. So it's all on, all on blind, so that you don't know what company it is. And that's transparency, and that is in the joint, the JPEG, and that's, and accountability.
Yeah, the two things they mentioned are assessment quotes, which is what you said, isn't
Yes.
it? And payment approvals, which is covered by the first item.
Yes.
And the other one is a range of regulations and standing orders and finance rates about budgets and the management of the council's finances. They were updated in May last year, but we just need to look at those again to make sure that we're happy with doing them.
They are the updated financial regs of May 2024, they are the new ones to choose from.
So, Wendy, I think in terms of timescale on this, we're talking probably around April, May before you're going to be in a position to get other things you've got to do on this. Is that correct? So I think we will do this with a view to coming to full council in April.
Any quotes that I bring now will be redacted.
The quote, I think we need to say that we'll redact quotes.
I've found that once or twice, but I know that has to happen.
And a full report. So it'll go probably to finance in March or April and on to full council in May week 10th. Right. The next one. The minutes of the council of the master legal record. Certainly when I saw the auditor, she was very insistent about that. Should contain all bank payment listings, bank reconciliations and so on, and which should ensure supporting information is included in future minutes and reviewed standing orders to provide for such supporting information. We're putting some of that, correct me if I'm wrong, Wendy, into immediate effect.
Yeah, I'm backdate until the beginning of the year.
And we will...
Because I have an agenda pack, but whereas I just kept on the computer and I just had my minutes, I now put my agenda pack in,
So it's
file with the minutes on top.
implemented immediate effect. And in terms of the standing orders on that, can I suggest that finance look at that again at the same time as we're looking at the financial rates?
Yeah.
And bring it all together to full council in April or May, is that all right?
Should be fairly minor amendments.
Well, that will be when they're reviewed in May, won't it? Is that okay to bring them to the annual meeting in
Yeah,
May?
if we just agree what the changes
Okay.
are, so it's ready for May.
But we did, can bring it by the full council, right? Yes, let's do that. Right. Right, planning comments. We shouldn't be doing this by email, something Tracy's always been concerned about. So, yes, you have. So, we're going to bring this with recommendation.
Yeah, so we get about 5 or 6 planning applications a month. I think if they're just basic planning applications like porch or something like that, or a small extension, then they could come to full council because it's just a quick look at them.
Is it a timing issue though?
It is a timing
something
issue.
whereby they
Yeah.
come on and
They
they're
usually,
in the month and our meetings at the end of the
yeah,
month?
so
in
they
which
usually
case-
give us 2 weeks, but we can go for extensions. So
Right.
we've got some to come to you in May, but we've asked for extensions. So they usually give us, we'll tell them when our meeting is, and they'll usually extend it to just after the meeting so we can respond. However, I think, like, if the big ones come up, then you need to have a meeting, and then you can have an extraordinary meeting to fit that in.
I think, I do think with regard to larger applications, in other words, anything in with 7 or 10,
Yeah, that what houses.
then,
Yeah.
in terms of other development, or something that's likely to impact on the historic core of the town,
Yeah.
then that should be a full public committee meeting. There is also, probably just need checking as to whether it is within those operating line, that all small applications, we could delegate any comments to the clerk.
You could do.
Avoid lots of, we don't want big meetings over somebody putting a 2-story extension up in Nelson Road for a current one. There's no reason for that. I would object to it, my object.
Yeah, or garages or
Whereas,
something like that.
Garage houses stuff right out the front. But anything to do with listed building or the conservation area would need to be a wider discussion. Certainly anything like NW16 would definitely need to be a wider discussion.
But can we, in the part of good practice, given the auditors recommending that all decisions go to a public council, can we delegate anything to you?
I would like to start off with,
Just or a proper scheme of delegation to the
Right.
yeah, it does.
It does.
However-
I think we ought to flip this and say, Wendy deals with them unless it meets the criteria that have been discussed here, in which case it then comes to full council.
or can we start bringing that to the full council and see how we get on? Because if there's only 2 or 3, that will be really quick to go through them.
You'll still circulate them as they come in the usual way.
So that
So
we can
you
come
You
to
can
full
come to
council and say,
council
right,
with a thing, yeah, and
because
then,
we will know what it is we want to say when we come to the
exactly.
council.
Can we do that to start off with, just while I'm sort of,
Yeah, and see what.
just to see how we do it,
But sometimes
and revisit it when we know
Things are a bit more
what's
settled.
Yeah.
But sometimes even minor
You
schemes
know, I've got
can
another-
affect on
Yeah.
neighbours or access or something, so
Yeah.
you still need to.
I will try and put them in an agenda pack, so I'll try and get, if I can get the plans up, so I'm now ordering a screen, so that the plan will all come up on the screen.
If it's on the agenda, we've got the application numbers we're going to talk about, and we can quickly
And
double
the
check that
details,
we've
so
actually
we can
had the
actually have a
details.
look at it and make our own comments to bring to the council to the meeting.
If members are provided with the reference number, it's easy enough to go look it up.
Oh, so they leave it to them to go and look at it. All right,
I
I'll get
would
Jasmine.
say, I'm struggling to read it this afternoon for a meeting on Thursday. The government is changing the way in which planning decisions are made anyway.
Oh, okay.
A lot more delegation to officers, which does not sound that good in many respects. We're not clear how that will impact on parish town councils, but I imagine they'll expect the principles from there to apply. We wait to see where that ends up.
So we can do.
Use primary legislation anyway.
Okay, so if I still get Jasmine to send that out to you,
Yeah.
but then I will print them off, we'll go and print it off, and I will bring them to the meeting.
So if you can make a formal recommendation, if you could just do a short note,
Yeah, I'll make a report.
a short report for us on what we've decided tonight.
Yeah,
I think we'll all go, but we would wish to move to
delegated authority
To
in
delegate.
time.
But at the end of the day, if there's anything that's urgent, we would still need to just
Yeah.
get
I
together
think
and sort it out.
there is a trick, Tracy, that what planning officers do in order to say that they've got a good percentage of all applications through in 8 weeks, is to just ask for extensions for so-called legitimate grounds and then make it. You don't want that. That's what councils do. But Anyway, okay. Right, office presence at meeting. Bring forward to councillor's official officers staff cover which will always be provided.
I don't agree with councillors' clerk and means.
No, there shouldn't be. So, how are we going to deal with this? Do we implement it straight away? Implement straight away?
Well, since I've been in post, you've never had a councillor do anything, have you?
No, we haven't.
Let's say during 2023, but I
Yeah.
don't recall anything when you were there.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't employed in 2023.
That's true, I'm not here.
So I came to a meeting in November or December and Laura was taking the minutes.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
I can recall some meetings in 2023 when the
I think you were sure.
the recorder was there. The minutes were written up by an officer later.
Yeah.
You weren't actually there to part of the meeting.
No.
You're absolutely right that there must be a clerk or deputy at every meeting, and if it can't be alone, there must be a locum, otherwise the meeting cancels.
So we say that that is now been completed, the officers will be present.
Yeah.
That's been complete for the last year.
That has to apply if there's a need for the clerk to leave, there must be somebody else in the office, or.
Well, that's why you should always have a locum clerk. If your clerk leaves, you should get a locum clerk in place.
Right, the council has GPC, which is what?
Till 2027.
Well, GPC again, just as
General power competence.
general power of competence, that's it. Yeah, we accept that, but I don't think it's a priority at the moment. No elections down until when's it, May 27th?
Yeah.
Something we've got to do, but it's not
Yeah.
a priority. So just
We've got quite a few, or we'll have quite a few co-opted councillors,
Yeah,
which
we have to have
prevents it
two-thirds
from
elected sooner or
we
later.
don't need to renew this until after the next elections,
But,
by which time hopefully everyone will be elected.
so we accept it, but it's not a priority, not immediate priority. If there is a vacancy, there is nothing to prevent 10 electors asking for an election to take place and people
Yes.
put themselves forward.
As we know, all the vacancies have been advertised.
Yeah.
Nobody wants an election.
Yeah.
So, we follow the democratic rules there.
Right. 9, the external auditor requires that all variances over 15% are explained. So that's the first part of it. As far as I'm concerned, Wendy, I think that's what you intend to do for 24-25.
It wasn't done it was done. I insisted that it was done and it was done. It was something that hadn't been done, but for 23-24, the pivot spreadsheet wasn't done, but I spoke to the IFO and told her that we did need to do 15% variances and we did get it in time.
So that is
So
now
that
been,
has been done.
that has now been done. Right,
Yeah.
okay, so that.
And the independent auditor, he hadn't ticked the wrong boxes, he had ticked the right boxes because the councillors did not meet their obligations with regards to the charity account. Our old internal auditor tried to get this changed for PKF Little John and they didn't accept his explanations. So they kept it, because our AGAR had already been signed by the councillors. You can't change an AGAR once it's been ratified at full council, so that
So
wasn't allowed to go ahead.
24-25, we are complying with this.
Yeah, well,
Right, we need to note that, that's what we say. Complying
I
with-
mean, I
and
saw
for
that.
23-24,
It was sorted,
it was,
yeah, because I made sure it was correct.
it was,
Haven't done AGARs for the last 7 years.
right. On the authority of the clerk.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, well, that's got that one out of the way. Right,
And then, obviously, when it came back to say that it was all complete and to publicise the things and the electors' notices, I was on my own, I made sure it was all done.
right, okay. Fine.
As correct.
So that was done correct for
Yes, it was.
24. That's
Yeah,
Sorry.
23, 24.
The former appears not to have correctly reviewed any of the processes and systems, but the interim referred to the audit commission, which was abolished many years ago. How many years ago it was now, but it was a long time ago. The council recognises that significant oversight did not take place in this area, and this is expected to change with the appointment of the new auditor. Well,
Yeah.
we've had a new auditor in. To my view, this is being done.
There's no.
It's more sort of comment than an action.
Yes. So we just put it's being done.
I think the person who done this report has spoken to Healers and Lodge and just explained what happened.
Right, okay.
They didn't cost them.
Right.
She'll be coming in May time, April, May time, to do the final audit.
And number 11 follows on from number 10. Finance Committee to review and action the new internal auditor's recommendations. Well, yeah, we will be doing it.
We're doing.
So that's completed and we'll be going. We can note that. Right, that's 11. How many have we got? Yeah. Okay.
You should ask now, don't you?
All right. Okay. Right, during 2023, the council did not file all of its VAT returns. Right. So, I think there's two things here. The controls are now in place, aren't they, to ensure it doesn't happen in future. Is that correct?
I've been doing it, but just a diving note needs to be made. It is quarterly.
Is that something that will be done as part of the new scribe thing, with all the reminders and things that go in with that? Should that not be something
That's
that
on the
gets
asset.
looked at?
That's for assets.
Right,
So you set yourself a diary note on your computer. So they're done quarterly, and you have until the next month. So the next quarter goes up to December.
because if I get an email to say that it's due.
No, because it's real time. It's HMRC obligations, and you just do it from your scribe. Okay. So you set yourself a diary note. I know when they have to be done, because I've done as much.
So can we say that moving forward, the controls are now in place? Can we say that?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Okay, we say, and then on the staffing thing, we'll deal with any more detail on that. That's something to
So as mine comes up to the end of December, I will be submitting my paying return as soon as I will have invoices for December.
So if we can put that down, that the controls are now in place, staffing to do.
So something needs to be just reported on site to confirm that those things have happened. Maybe just to the finance.
Oh yeah,
Finance,
you can send you the VAT thing, just
Just to say that it's been done and then.
Check on the balance.
One of the things would be.
well, how much is coming back.
Oh, yes, that would be good, in the each financial committee report, how much is coming back.
Yeah.
It was all a bit loose in the past, but I'll just leave that.
Nice to see money going in rather than going out.
That's quite a lot of money sometimes, isn't it? It actually just a lot. And then we have to pay VAT on the gators, so we get that all back, stuff like that, it's like 3,000.
So yeah, we get comfort that they're happening and feedback as to what the financial.
Yes, I think if we can have a report to each one, what's come back, is that right? Thanks for that.
A report comes in and it's filed. And I think what could also happen, because I'm going to tighten up the internal scrutineer's job a lot. I'm going to get a bigger report, but you can check on that, the VAT, that's been done correctly.
Just a question, when the VAT comes back,
Yeah.
is it placed back into the budget heading?
Yeah.
Or is it
Yeah.
used by itself?
No, it's not. But when we do our budgets, we put them in, and then we have the net figures that go in. The VAT is then a refund of VAT, and it just goes to a VAT.
So the budget
base.
is,
And
budget is
it
netted.
goes to the back number,
Back
you do
number.
a journal out of there into whichever.
Budget.
Well, we don't journal it because Scribe sets its figures at net, so you always see a net figure anyway. You don't see a gross figure, you see a net figure on Scribe.
So
And
the
that's what
budget,
the
budget is
has,
set.
therefore, does that pick up where the money has been generated?
Let me have a think.
Yeah, like with the gates,
Because,
that's kind
yeah,
of
because what I would do is, it comes in, it gets put into that nominal, and then if it's for 3 or 4 different areas, I then have to put that out to each department to say what that money relates to.
the full supply and water to do that.
Well, that's what I thought.
Well, it doesn't, because you just put it in as a refund, but I don't know about that, I'm gonna have to have.
Because obviously that money belongs to an area.
No, can you leave that with me and I'll check this one.
There is different audits and accounting processes between private sector and local government.
I'm just gonna check this
I still
one.
need to know really how it's happened.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that, I'm not gonna do a VAT, but all I know is that I refund it to the VAT code,
Yeah.
nominal VAT code,
So that would be-
because I don't know whether that,
the VAT from the gate to £4,000 or something going back, that wants to go back into the grounds.
Yeah, but-
yeah, but I think it only comes out as 7,000 or
Yeah.
The
10,000
budget
pounds.
is net of VAT.
Yes.
Budget.
So it only comes out at 7,000, so
The
it
budget, that's,
yes,
the budget
That's how
is
it's
set
set.
is net of VAT.
There's the difference between the accounting thing and the bank balance thing.
Yes,
isn't there?
yes,
So the
so
accounting
the budget
thing
is
right
done
all
at
the
net.
time.
That's what-
The bank balance shows too much negative
Yes.
and then positive, comes
Yes.
back to the balance I drop.
Yes.
But it would be useful for people to know that this is what's come back and these were the areas, because then you can always refer back to that, that's why.
Yeah, because when I send you the payments list, it says net VAT, because the new payments list says net VAT gross, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So you should always be looking at the net figures
The budget purpose.
for budget
That's,
purposes.
yeah, that's what we're reconciling against the budget.
Yes.
We've also a bit of training on that.
Yeah.
Well, it's what I did. Didn't I say a while ago that I was going to get you all access, didn't I? I will get you access, especially finance.
One thing at a time.
Especially finance.
I was looking at access to event training.
Well, I did say I would do a little bit of training, but maybe I'll get John to do that.
Right, risk assessment is the next one. Change bank accounts and on the risk assessment website. I think you want this to be done as a priority, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. Risk assessment on the website. Oh, yeah, I'll change that. I'm going to change that and bring it
Are
to
we
full
content with
levy.
that?
Okay.
Priorities.
So what's that, sorry, what's going to happen there?
Risk assessment insurance.
It's going to include that as a, this is 13. The risk assessment on the website does not include the changed bank accounts. So as a priority, we're going to make sure it is.
Yeah, just so the internal auditor at the end of the day can just tick a box and say, yes, you've done that.
That's just a simple edit to the text on the website.
Well, that's our policy, isn't it? It's our policy, I'll have to be redone.
And again,
Fidelity insurance, I've got to do that.
as a priority, we've got to do increase the council. Fidelity cover.
Sorry, Chair, on the previous one, the risk assessment.
Yes.
We're going to change it, we're going to bring it back to full council by the way.
It'll be in the report. The full council will have a minute or this chart with what we've agreed today.
So I should, if I get a chance, I'll bring a risk assessment to the meeting to be adopted.
That's what my question is, which full council meeting are we?
Oh, January.
Fine.
Okay, well, at the January full council meeting, what we've agreed today needs to be ratified by the full council in January.
Policy might come to you in February, I'll have to see.
I mean, but that's what we've been, so in other words, even if it's not been actioned by January, that they accept our recommendation.
Sure. So for policies will be March, April.
Some of the policies, and there's, as we get later
Yeah.
on, there's 2 or 3 things already being pushed back.
Okay.
But what January needs to happen is full council ratifies what we agreed tonight,
And agrees the timeline for doing this.
and agreed the timeline.
Fine, okay, that's fine.
All right, Paul?
Yeah, that's what I just want to say,
No,
things
no.
that we're checking ourselves against and all of the,
Yeah,
I appreciate it's got to be ratified by full council first.
That will take really a ratification job to this, but there will be certain things that we will actually agree on. Fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. I've noted that the council's fidelity cover is insufficient. This is a matter of priority we've got to deal with, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that correct? Do as a priority.
So which projects is that referring to?
Well, the fidelity insurance.
Well, it's the cash, isn't it? The amount of cash we're holding, isn't it?
So it'd be many months till projects are completed, so
It's to do with the fact we're holding, and let's correct me if I'm wrong, Wendy, it's to do with the amount of cash that we're holding in bank accounts.
Okay, then we change
Right.
that.
Yeah.
And it
To
goes
cover it in
only,
case I can go off and nick up.
in case, because we're only covered up to 85 grand or something.
Yeah.
But to cover in case it's not.
Well, we always lend it to grow, but renewable watch.
You could do that, yeah.
Right.
Do we have a time scale for that?
I'll try and get it done.
Times and priorities to work out
Priorities.
this month or February, but or we'll be ratifying it full council. What I don't want is that this reports on progress on this will come back certainly to the finance committee each quarter. So what it does mean that we can then ask questions to say, well, has it been done?
We have also said we'll publish this to the public as well, haven't we? So
Yes, so this what gets ratified.
be the agenda,
now,
I suppose.
being the general plan, this is what we agree.
Okay.
So it's got to be a mechanism for keeping check. We've said the priority is done. I mean, I did do when I was working through this as a draft, a list of what was priority. There's a number of things that's not immediate and comes later, but this is a priority. Right, nominal code structure. The reporting structure of the council is very unusual. It's designed to obscure. Right, concern over reporting structure accepted in the finance committee to agree remedial action plan. We're talking about correcting coding here.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do about this yet, because we're already halfway through it. So I'm going to make sure that all the codes are correct for May, for next April, going forward, because we have miscellaneous, we have other, we have assemblies, it's not good enough.
So how big a task is that? Sounds
It's quite a big
I
task.
reckon so, yes.
That's quite a big task. So I have to sit down and think about how I want it to look, how we want it to look, how far we wanted to split out. When I was in Belgium, Belgium used Scribe, and I had quite a lot of nominal codes. And there was so where you have trackside, we would have electricity charge for trackside, electricity charge, so it was all split out. And I tried to get the wages split out, because I'd like the wages split out, so you know how much of James's time is spent in this place and how much is spent in that place, so that you know how much each area is costing you, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, can you not do that by department codes?
Well, that's what I mean, the department codes, the cost centres and cost codes. We have cost centres, which are department codes, but at the moment it's just electricity, and you don't know how much electricity you need, areas, whatever. So I'd quite like to drop it down a little bit.
You've got to really do it from 24,
25,
25, 26.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you've got to unpick
Yeah.
everything that's gone before.
But I think
It should be mammoth, wouldn't it?
I do think that you should, like the compound, for instance, it should have its own codes for it, not just vehicle compound. It should have, and the rate should go, so the rates would be for the compound, and it just shouldn't be all under amenities, or leases and things. It should be split out a little bit, so you know.
Every location or asset should.
Yeah.
The thing is, it helps, one of the big things is pretty much lack of transparency.
Yes.
And when everything's lumped in together,
You
you don't
have
have
that
that
transparency.
So if you want people to be able to see what's going on, you've got to put it in an order that they can understand what it is.
I think what's happened is historically, it's been easier just to have
Just
a
lump
small
them
number of
together.
headings. And we didn't have a split scribe in the past. So, the simple answer is, we've got it now, we know what the problem is.
Yeah, we had it
We
since
started.
2017 and
Yeah,
started
I don't think
working on
it
it, but I
was
don't think
very
year marks went on.
I'm quite surprised that.
Because when I came-
that's happened.
Because I helped, I don't know how many of you know, but I helped in 2023. I came in and helped show you a scribe, because I was using scribes to, I think Julie phoned Alsham and said, is there anybody who can help? And so we came up and helped. And they were sort of using manual accounts and scribe, because they didn't quite and Scribe. But that's what happened in Elsham when I first started there, they were using manual accounts and Scribe.
You normally do that for a period when you
Yeah,
take on a
but they were still doing it,
position.
so all the earmarked reserves were not in Scribe, they were kept on a sort of spreadsheet, but that didn't
That fits the
look right.
object.
That's right.
Well, I
So-
think you're right. I think let me just start this off. If we try and have a whole new structure in place for the next financial year.
Yeah, it will
then
be,
it's
yeah.
not something- it can be tweaked over time as different
Yeah.
projects come on.
Yeah, it can, so like, if you get a
Let's
new
start
cemetery,
new
for
year.
instance, you'll have all your codes down there, so then you can see how much that cemetery is costing you.
It helps inform decisions if you know that, a particular park is costing you a ridiculous amount of money, you need to focus, see what it is.
Well, you see, you can have your play equipment and the cost of that play equipment, so if you purchase a new bit or replace something, that goes to that code. It just makes sense. I mean,
Just avoid going too far down.
I used to do counts in the private sector, and that's what we used to do, private sector.
But if you went down to every individual element of say.
No, there's an element of common sense to be had.
Oh, that screw can go to that, that screw.
But I started life in the second largest solar company in the world in the county. I can tell you, it wasn't that scientific. Best left there, but the important thing was there was a profit, which they tend to make.
That's all the shareholders can say.
Right, okay. So I think what we need to say there is from the start in the new financial year, we'll be doing some revision of the codes, the budgets,
So the coding will be done by April.
so it's an April deadline. In terms of staff resources, can I just park that for the moment, because then we'll deal with that at the end of the meeting. Right, budget setting. Again, I think 16 just follows the same as we've agreed with 15.
Yeah, because I done it by word, I done it on Word, and Eleanor put it onto a spreadsheet for me. Very well. But I didn't do it to Word because I wanted to, I still think that the way I presented the budget is really handy, it's really easy for you and be better. But I will also present you the Scribe
I think,
as well.
I think you need to, if we're going to use Scribe, we've got to go all in, and
Yeah.
it's got to be our Bible.
But for this time I just done it like that,
But
because
again,
it seemed
That's that period of setting up one thing from another.
Right, budget monitoring, well, I think 17 follows 16 and 15, start of the new financial year.
Producing those reports.
Yeah, I will go to other councils and see what they do, because the ones that use Scribe, because they're all different financial reports that can be sent, I think.
We'll take in advance of next year starting, it'll be useful to see the format of what we might get, so we can understand what it's going to be.
Just didn't know which reports to send you.
Well, that's
I'll
right.
think
Well,
about
I
it.
know there are many to choose from.
Yes, I know.
Send more.
Finance, we can come to finance, so let's see.
Yeah, all right, John, I'll print off all the reports.
Well, print off what you think might be a suitable
Yeah.
selection. I mean, the thing that always used to bug me when I was on the county and the district, you'd think they'd all do the same thing. No, they don't. They don't. You get used to one, and then you have to change your mind, you get used to the other one. Right. Okay. For a council the size of the town council, the general should be the order of 4 months of revenue expenditure. We accept the general reserve is too high, and council committees need to programme expenditure use the general reserve.
Lots of ideas.
It seems to me, Paul, that a lot of this is going to reside in your area. And it might be, it's entirely up to yourself and the Amenities Committee how you wish to look at the ideas, whether you can do this at a normal Amenity Committee or you want to have an extraordinary meeting just to look at this and probably get the officers to provide a list of some of the
List of
ideas.
recommendations. Can we?
It's a matter of doing. There's a whole gambit of ideas. I think, yes, and we'll have a look again at and try and give you some indication about what money might be available. I haven't got an up-to-date forecast report and see what we can do and give your
Is
committees.
there maybe a idea to put a survey out to the locals?
Yeah,
Just
that's-
say to them, what do you want?
Yes, I think that's a
You know, let
possibility.
people feel involved in their town.
A monkey, what's it called?
Survey.
Survey monkey.
I mean, we just have to be careful. I don't want people proposing, £3 million project.
No, but
You
we'll
could have a
have
list of, a tick list that they can
And
do,
some
or other, and then
Yeah,
they can
yeah.
perhaps put
And I
something
think
on the bottom.
suggested project,
Yeah.
with indicative costs,
Yes,
and then an
yeah,
option.
and an option
Those
to
other
add
things.
something else, not a list of
Yeah.
other things.
Oh, on the market,
Which
hasn't
doesn't-
And we did say we included in that a list of the services we cover, so.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what you
so
need
they
to
can't
do,
Yeah, but
we need to get some ideas together then, don't we?
Get
so
some
that's going to
ideas.
be the DNA committee then.
That's
isn't
going
it,
to be
start with?
DNA. So can we say this to be given to DNA as a priority to
Yeah.
look at? And Jasmine, I think, do a lot of work on that.
You do my survey monkey because she's got things like
Yeah, I think we want to end up with 20 items with rough costs, and then we can prioritise those and do the top
Yeah.
6 or whatever.
Do you want me to be all about saying it's a tick box?
I think, Chair, as part of that, we do need to try and get some clarity on the initial cost of the new cemetery. That's going to be the biggest capital project for the next few years.
We don't necessarily have to say we're going to do all these things in the next 10 minutes, but we're
I
looking at
think it
projects
would be-
for the future.
I think, I think it would be helpful, Bob, and you're on top of this, if, I know it's dependent on planning, but on the assumption that, we're likely to get planning approval in principle to get some idea what these costs will be and how we fund them.
I have had it confirmed that the sale of the chapel, oh no,
That we can come on to that in a bit.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
know.
big item, that's
Sorry.
something we discussed yesterday. So, and then because it won't just be about what it's going to cost, then it will be it will be, given the cost, how much do we fund from reserves and how much do we go to the public works land board for? Which is something for the newer members this council has never done. No. It's a very, I'm advised by clerks, not just for Wendy, but other clerks I've talked to about it, is that it's quite a straightforward process.
you have to go public consultation
There has
first,
to
don't
be
you?
the public, there has to be some public consultation, but it's quite a straightforward process, but historically it's something this council has never done.
Obviously, never needed to.
Well, I think that might be a question that I would challenge, but,
Okay.
we are where we are, is my phrase on that. But I just thought it'd be interesting to know, historically, we've never done it. It's something that parishes do
Yeah, Elsham did, they had
all
the
the time.
drill hall. Yeah, and they got a public workload board because the council didn't want that, the public didn't want to sell, sold just off to a development, so.
Imagine my youth spend that door.
And the drill hole.
So what's the interest on that, sort of below?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
really,
yeah.
really cheap, really cheap. And we had it over 10 years, I
I
think.
think it's at 4s and 5s at the moment.
Is it?
So, yeah, because I was looking into
Oh,
out of this,
Yeah,
out
yeah,
of
yeah.
here, but in professional life, I was looking at it. Yeah,
I mean, the problem is that
District use a lot,
the
don't they?
government 4 or 5 years ago got quite concerned about the number of councils using the public works land board because they were using it not just for a few thousand, like a cemetery, they were using it to finance shopping developments.
Yeah.
And sports arenas and goodness knows what, and of course some of them got into great difficulties. So they clamped down on higher authorities in terms of what they could use it for. But that doesn't prevent us, I mean, cemeteries won't be a problem if we want to go there.
Yeah, it's within the remit of the things of this council.
And it's modest compared to.
Some of the other things you've seen.
I mean, the thing is, I mean, some councils borrowed it and they borrowed a lot of money and it's been highly successful.
Yeah.
And it's kept down council tax and enabled them to maintain services. There have been other instances where it's
But
been
is
a
that
disaster.
something that you would do, bearing in mind how much we are physically sitting on?
Yes, but there's other, it's a question of balance. I mean, the cemetery these days doesn't provide a service for everybody. But it's a question probably of balance between, do you put all your eggs in one basket, whether it's the cemetery or play equipment or some other scheme, or do you actually have a spread? And whether you want some quick results.
Is the casualty cemetery the best?
Yeah.
Or is?
I mean, there is already 50, 60,000 there to deal with all the primaries in the reserve. It's whether once we can get an idea on costings,
Yeah, until we get to that point, really.
that's the key thing, because it's also going to hold us up on, if you're going out to a public survey, instead of the public coming up with some 3 or 4 really good ideas, shall we say, if you have still got this elephant in the room hanging about, you don't know what to do.
No, we have a scheme which will actually give us a return. Some of us have gazed at that land in the side of this building.
Oh, I've got a brilliant idea.
What the district going to do with it? Probably not a lot. It'll end up as a new unitary.
Yeah, so you'll try and keep our assets in North Walsham. So I believe that if district resolve, we may be able to say, well, can we purchase them off of you? You know, so we keep them rather than.
I mean, the whole thing about it is, if the town council owns things, it's more secure. If a higher council owns things, where all their good intentions might be, there is always a risk that they, if push comes to shove, when you've got 2 toilets in the portion, they close them.
You've got this nice refurbished building
Oh,
here.
yeah,
What's that worth?
yeah, we could.
But councils are also obliged, what's the phrase, Paul, that when they sell assets, they've got to be best value, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you have to go and get some value.
Unless there's a good reason not to do so. But, you know,
You could get an income from there, this couldn't you?
Yes, which would maybe look after itself.
a 99-year lease is another way of doing it, then we could probably have the lease for £1 or a nominal sum. But we'll have to look into it. But what I'm saying is that the whole advantage of council owning something is more secure.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm afraid.
Play parts at the district down, for instance.
I mean, Acorn, the Acorn one above you, that's district
Chestnut
council.
Drive.
Chestnut, there's one down the bottom of Brickhill, that's all the district.
Yeah.
We do need to keep in mind though that half of it changed local government. It'll be orders from above them.
Whether you like it or not.
Whether you like it, but I
We
mean,
need to protect the town.
Yes.
I mean, we have to protect the town, but I mean, whether there's one authority for Norfolk or there's 3 or 4, districts will go.
And then
Well,
the
in
amenities
Norfolk,
are-
district.
No. I'm accepting that.
There's the 2 we rule from the north.
Yes.
Well,
Pleasant thought.
but for those of us served on councils where there's a main town and market towns outside, you just end up with perennial arguments between the town and the market towns on the outside. The market towns argue all the time, it goes to the centre and the centre say, no, it doesn't.
This is going to be interesting.
I tell you,
Exciting times we're in.
Even if district happens, I'm a Mr. Council for many years, and they're all with the road between Ulster and Bishop's Wallis, what they weren't getting to finish it. They were only about 6 miles out of the way.
it also often ends up with councillors being elected from the market town, basically that we're standing in favour of the market town.
Yeah.
And of a different persuasion to probably anybody else, or of a different persuasion, yes. It's all based on that. Yes. Yes, it's not as straightforward as you think. Right, Finance Committee is to review current reserves and to ensure compliance. I think, Wendy, the best thing to do with this is that we know we've got to not have new projects at the moment, but to put it all back in. But we're going to be looking is that we'll produce a revised reserve statement at the end of the financial year.
So once we've decided what, if we need some projects, we can think, oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
we'll put
but
some
if you
of
can
that
give that just a bit of time, but if we earmark April for that, then we can do it then. And it's, you know, the more I've thought about this one, it's, I understand it for small parishes, but given the size some town councils have become now, it's a bit better off following district council practice or metropolitan because it's. But anyway, we'll do it in April. Right. In 2000, this is the bungalow in the cemetery that we sold to a member of staff. Capital receipts are subject to strict restrictions. Yes, they are. There's a balance. Right, you better tell us from memory. Just let's get the figures correct over this. This was sold for 118,000.
18,000, and I'm just sorting out, but I think the compound was about 45,000. So we've got a difference there.
And what can it be spent on?
It can only be spent on cemeteries. So we could build a compound because it was within the cemetery. So my recommendation was that the rest of this money goes towards the new cemetery. And that's that's what it has to. But I'm not sure where the money that is already earmarked has come from.
I don't think it's come. Well, we could use that and then just top it up to 70.
We did put some in as an item in the budget 2 or 3 years ago for the
So I'll check that, yeah.
But it's nothing.
60,000 rings a bell.
Yes, it does.
So should we put 60 plus 70 then, or just?
I would, well, at the moment, I would prefer to put 60 plus 10 to bring it up to 70 because let's see what comes out from events.
Yeah.
We might need, once we've gone through that, to see what comes out in terms of all the projects.
Okay.
But let's get the 70,000 will be for the new cemetery. So the money, the 56,000 which is there, or what the original sum was, the one because we spent a bit of it. So it's
yeah, there is a recommendation that the grounds team have a welfare.
well, what I'm saying is that the other thing it could be spent on, as I understand it, if you wanted to improve the compound in any way, you could spend it on that.
They need to have a hand washing facilities, so they could have a welfare. Well, they have over the chapel. Have you been?
And
It's
possibly,
not really.
if they want another piece of equipment,
I don't think I can go on
You don't-
equipment, but it can
to
definitely
go on improving the compound.
improving the compound.
So if you wanted to improve the water supply to the compound, the high pressure, we could do that because that's a capital structure with the compound. Again, that's more about security at the moment rather than being needed. But
Because at the moment they have 1,000, I asked James about this, and they have 1,000 IBC, is it 1,000 IBC container? And that takes 4 hours to fill.
and what ought to be happening is that
High pressure, what is it called?
high pressure, water pressure. I mean, there is the thing that the small tanker that will Blue trail around the whole thing. Quite frankly, the easiest thing for the ground staff is just to borrow it and fill it up and just take it around and use it for whatever they want. That's the easiest way to do it. Thousands. That's what wants to happen.
Yeah.
There was a high pressure water supply here, but with what's happened to that site over there, it's just got lost.
Anyway.
It seems to me, as long as that fund is allocated within under the cemetery head, we can look at the detail how we use it.
Once you've got that DNA list, you need to highlight which ones.
Yes, so fund will be allocated for the balance. Balance will be allocated for cemetery projects. If we put it like that, would that be all right, Wendy?
Cemetery, and then obviously that will then come to DNA to look
Then,
at what we're going to do.
but as long as we're clear, Paul, that we want to improve the compound, we can do so.
There are health and safety issues there.
Yes. There's some health and safety issues there, but if we want to get new equipment, that's outside.
Yeah.
Right. Next one is petty cash.
Oh, it's being paid back to the bank account this week. I don't want to pay cash, I don't need to pay cash.
So we don't need to do that because we no longer
Yeah, I'm not my card.
no longer have it.
No, not required.
Not required.
More trouble than it's worth.
Right.
And the card payment, so what happens with the card payment? It's just like a debit card. but you get a bill at the end of the month and you pay the bill off.
Which account
And it
is that
takes,
from? Which account is that?
Unity Trust actually takes the money, it's a
Okay.
direct debit, takes it out. So if you want to find a help, just use the card. Stamps will just use the card.
Right. You give the receipts then, do you reckon?
Yeah, and then you're on the back of the statement.
Receipts.
Yeah.
Receipts, yes, we do. We do that for the day.
It's nice, it's amazing how those sorts of card transactions can, you try and hit 10%. I never spent 150, oh yeah, I have spent 150. Sorry, Jim.
I'm very hot on that.
Right, now this is the issue about contracts and different contracts. Wendy, I think this is actually being looked at.
I'm looking at this with, I'll be
Right.
looking at this with Bob, we've got a new framework contract, but we are going through, but we did say, we just looked through mine, but it transpired that I think all we need to look at all contracts.
Yeah, I think we said we look at yours first to sort of get the model
Yeah.
established and then use that to.
But I think you should do it with me because of the,
Yeah.
what's happened in the contracts and with regards to.
And when's the deadline for that, Spring?
I'd like it done sooner than that.
Well, it's up to you with resources.
Yeah,
I think, given some of the contracts, which you're aware of across all staff,
Right.
the sooner we can do it, the better.
because some of them aren't green, but we are,
So
to have our gold standard, we need to be a green book employee, that's part of it. I think I put some, I did sort of say about the sickness and things that you should be,
If we're issuing revised contracts to staff, we've got to give them,
we've got to give them,
and circulate it to them, we've got to give them time to comment on it.
the contracts will only, we're not taking away from them, we're enhancing them, aren't we?
So I'm just talking about town staff
Someone
here.
was like, believe me. Having done lots of contracts, still people use it.
So should we aim to have the drafts done by end of February to send out to people? Is that?
Yeah.
So we're talking about completed end of March, you know?
Probably after the
Well,
concentration.
yeah,
Start a new financial year, everybody's on the
Yeah,
update.
that'll be our good objective.
All our input on that point.
because, no, we need to do it before appraisals are in April.
Well, do it by the end of March, so we need to
Yeah,
get that back.
so we need to sort out our appraisals because,
Right, complete the end of March. Well, 23 follows, says this is pay scales, that follows 22, doesn't it?
yeah, end of March, yeah. Oh God, I forgot my piece of paper. Oh,
Right, pension contributions. I want to be careful here because to get some of the detail about this, the reason I rather prefer, there is an issue here that may not be done correctly. There is a potential liability for the council,
Okay.
which,
You know,
well, that's what I would prefer to discuss alone because it does touch on members of staff, how many and how long. So can I just,
HMRC obligations, we haven't met our HMRC
we
obligations.
haven't met our HMRC obligations over this. Is that on the pensions or is that in relation?
Yeah, pensions.
Well, can we bring it all below the line?
Yeah,
I think let's just do that. I'd just rather do it at the moment. We will have to, once we've got this, once I've got a better picture, or we've got a better picture over this, then I think there's something, you know, we can say something publicly about it. But
Yeah.
just at the moment, it's,
Yeah,
the
affects.
eyes and cross T's.
let's put
Yeah,
it this
yeah.
way, I've just seen a red light flashing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So just hold that for the moment. No, well, in terms
I've
of
got
the,
some notes for that.
in terms of the RFO, that will have to be left to be determined. There is this issue about whether wages should be, salaries, payment of salaries should be outsourced or
Absolutely.
internalised.
Northwick,
Yes,
ALC do that. Northwick,
absolutely.
ALC do
I've
that.
always done that.
£8.
I've always outsourced it. Legislation changes so darn fast. It's next to impossible to keep up with, and it's a
Well,
no-brainer.
what about the national insurance things?
Yeah, that's really no-brainer.
The councils on it, yeah, they'll pay for that. that meeting November.
You often find that your accountants will do that. Both the last two that I've been with, my accountants did that as
Don't
well
have
as
an
a side
account
job.
as such, but Norfolk Out do it. It's £8 for the first officer and then £5 each officer afterwards. And they'll do everything, they'll send off that
That's
payment.
not passed around for a year.
That's £100 a month.
You set it up for direct debit, they send it.
And then I'll get a report back.
Then
I
I'll
will
get
get a
your
report
report back with all the hospitals and beds.
So,
But it makes it easier with staff doing it and things.
And you used to have to send in the correct.
Yeah, so I'd have to send them,
So there is still a responsibility.
so like for overtime,
It's
it was
still an element of human error.
Yeah.
It's
But the
You
law of
will
averages
still-
says now and again something goes wrong, but it's a lot easier to spot it.
and then they will, because they know about local government pension schemes and things like that, so they'll make sure the right contribution is
Yeah.
is applied.
Absolutely.
So I think now could be better than the one she suggested,
Well,
and that's something that they now could
well,
do.
could we make a recommendation then that we explore outsourcing from the next financial year with,
Yeah, not to finish off this year.
Yeah.
that we explore outsourcing for the next financial year with milk? Are you agreeable with that? And providing
And that
both-
is a proper accountant who does
Yeah,
wages.
yes, and then if we do that, then if the full council ratifies it, you can process it. You might need to have, look at the costings again, probably need to give full council
Oh, yeah,
But-
yeah, it'll still-
a little report, but
Once we know,
ratify.
once we know what's happening.
Right, is that right? Right, appraisals again, should we outsource that or externalise it?
I think it's a good idea to do that. It takes any sort of bias and confusion out of it.
I did ask how, or somebody asked, how do they know how you perform? And didn't you ask? You
I
asked
think
them,
they-
and they said
they
that
sent
they
a
asked the right
It's in
questions.
the questionnaire to the member staff and the questionnaire to
The managers,
the
yeah.
council or members.
I mean, how this should operate, I discussed this with you yesterday when we were trying to sort out how to do it tonight. How, in theory, it should operate is that for members of staff, other than the clerk, there should be a questionnaire sent to the member of staff, a questionnaire sent to Wendy. They should submit those and then it's done and the report comes back to you. That should be how it's done.
And that's what it says in my job description.
For the clerk, at the district council, or the county, the chief executive is done by the leader. Which in this case would be the mayor, I would think.
It'd be quite good for each chair of each committee to do one as well.
But I think it would be useful, but it should be done, a questionnaire should be the mayor, and probably questionnaires should also go to the chairs of all the committees.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I think that's the best way, and then we can submit it and then do it. So that, if we were doing it, that's roughly how I would think in theory.
You're looking at basically the 360 degree appraisal.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if there is other managers involved, I don't know, it might be for the ground staff, but the head manager of the ground staff does it, I don't know. But that's
They'll probably come
managerial,
to me and him,
and him would have to do that.
because that's how I done the range of persons appraisals. I done with Daniel.
Yeah, because normally it's their immediate manager that
So
does the
the-
grade.
yeah.
That then goes out to the next
Yeah,
person to
yeah.
see and
Yeah,
ask
yeah.
any extra questions they might need answering before it
I
goes on.
presume whoever we go to would understand that sort of process and make suggestions anyway.
And we'd have to probably, once we agree, we'd have to probably change the standing orders to provide for it, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
It says here about approaching another district council to Broadwood, presumably also. So it's something that they do.
So I'm getting really confused, just to be clear, we're saying the person that is being appraised fills a form in.
Yeah.
The appraiser
No immediate manager.
fills a form in.
They're really-
And then those two things are sent to a third party. So you go to a situation where this one says I'm brilliant, this one says you're crap. Then what do you do?
And
then they ask them
they
the
ask
questions.
James to come back and
Because
ask
of
questions to try and find
Oh,
out
we
where it is in
Right,
the
okay.
process. They probably have an algorithm
You must
Everything
have
has
had
an
360 reviews of work in the last.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's like face to face talking to the people to
Yeah.
be able
And that's
to
how
But they can do
debate
that.
the point that's being made with the person that's suggesting.
See, I've always given them a sheet to fill in,
Yeah.
and then they go away and fill that in, and they can say on that sheet as well what they feel about me as a
Yeah,
manager.
that's what.
And then we have a
Yeah.
get together and we have a good old chat about it, freshen things out. And
Yeah.
sometimes it can get quite heated,
Yeah.
but it's also a chance for people to get things off their chest.
Yeah.
Because that's when a lot of things go wrong. When people feel they haven't got a voice.
I mean, even if you don't have an outside proposal, it can well be a difference between the member of staff and the manager.
Yeah, I do think, with given the present situation, it is far better, at least for the next year, and possibly the next 2 years, that we have an external person involved. Then it is totally independent. There can be no question of members taking a particular position on something, or member of staff taking a particular position on something. It is somebody from outside. Everybody has a chance to have feedback on
Yeah.
RS360. It is absolutely clear how it is being done.
And if there is, at the end of the day, if it's a difference between what comes back in the report, if it's a member of staff to Wendy, what comes back is a difference, and it can't be resolved, well, there are grievance processes and other things that members of staff can deal with, and of course councillors do become involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
I haven't got a problem.
I
I just
still
wanted to
like
clarify
to
what
know
we're proposing as opposed
Yeah.
to having issue with it.
As well, before we do, we'd like to hear how they would handle that.
Yes.
What stick do they use to calibrate
I don't know.
their
I mean,
information? How do
We're
they
going
come
to
to
do
their
it. We're going to
results?
do it. Our HR consultants do it.
Yeah,
I don't know how much they'll charge.
There's
How do they
two
find
things. There's the what's the process, that's fine, and then there's the how.
That's the bit.
Because that's why I asked, they don't work with them all, yeah, so how would they know?
And that's what I mean, 90% of what we do is an
Right.
appraisal, is their feelings and your feelings, and where you can change things to accommodate each other, to bring the best out of both, out of all parties.
Yeah.
Maybe what would happen is the external is leaking. The relevant head of the section
Is with her doing it.
is with her.
I'll find out how.
Yeah.
Well, I think,
There.
what I think we need to say then, to say to the full council, is that we agreed to outsource and for an initial period of 2 years.
Mm.
And that we will make inquiries to, well, basically we'll arrange a presentation to the full council, don't we?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea, where we can ask some questions and get clarity.
It's the how that's worrying me.
Yeah.
That's what we can
It feels quite sterile, just 2 bits of paper.
Yeah.
telling us
Paul,
that,
do you
so-
know of any district that whose HR team does this kind of, takes on outsourcing work? I wasn't aware that you
I'm
were.
not aware of any. I mean, clearly, you can go down and
Anything
see,
you could
because
do.
that's when a lot of monitoring.
I don't
officers
even know.
coincides.
I don't even know whether clerks do that. I've never heard of clerks doing it, but obviously she recommended this and she said districts do it.
But I've never heard of one.
No.
Well, I mean, as well as contacting Chrome, if you can get out Broadland and West Norfolk and
Or you can
see
try
if
the county, they've got a bigger HR team. They might do something,
They might
It's
do
an
that.
investigation, I think
Maybe
we've
should-
right now.
because in terms of if they're gonna go outside, you've got to have a quote, you probably need 2, not just gone to 1.
Have you got to try and get through?
or 3.
I do.
Try. So can that be done by March?
Well, that's up to you, what do you think?
March, because we're crazy.
No, it's going to be done, so you can all do it. Oh, nice, the quotes, right. Officer, you want to hold it? Right. Officer training, well, the ground staff have done training, as I understand it. Review training for all staff, they've done it. And there was a report about training and the last audit goes going to full council. So what do we need to do on this one?
Can I just take up the other line?
Take that further on. Right. 28, it's got to be deferred. I don't see it. Bank reconciliation, 29. Right, every member into the rota for every member of the council to check the reconciliation of the physical bank account every month. Do you want to
You
do
can
it?
do that, or I can bring it to. I can't see no reason why I can't bring it with the copy of the bank statements to each meeting.
Yeah, that's going to be the easiest route, surely, is to bring it to the finance meeting where we can look at it and.
Or bring it to full council.
Well, I'll bring it to finance
I
first.
think
because
finance first.
that provides.
But you only
That
meet
will be
once
there.
every 2 months. That's the only trouble. You'd have to meet every month.
But do we have to do it every month?
I think good practice to reconcile.
Well, I'd like to go to full council then, because it just won't get the coverage at full council, I think, would it, finance, that's always likely to.
Yeah.
Well, I think you should be having finance meetings every month for the next foreseeable.
Oh, where's the sting?
Do you not?
Well, okay, okay.
There's a
Especially
lot
if
to do.
There's a lot of sorting out going on, so it's probably the wise course of action to
Right,
do.
so the recommendation on that
That's
goes,
my recommendation.
so
Sorry, it's more stuff to do, but you've got to help me
the
with all this stuff.
recommendation is that it goes to finance and then we're meeting every month.
Then later might go to full council, not just.
Yeah,
Before, prior to going to full council if necessary, yeah?
yeah, probably, yeah, I like that. Let's see.
Is the reconciliation not produced by scribe?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So,
That's ever such an easy job, because it's
yeah,
a bank
but if the
reconciliation,
money,
and then you just have
if
to
all the
make.
information to come from scribe, it's just another report.
You've just got to make sure that the bank statement says.
Oh, sorry.
That's what you're checking.
It's right to tell you what should be in
Yeah.
The bank account
actually
what it
is.
is.
Jess does it all, Jess will show you certain, I sign it off, but you shouldn't do that.
Right, okay. Deposit account, this is about reserves being put in investment funds.
We're already doing that, aren't we?
We're already doing it and you hope to do in this week or next week to get the agreed 100,000.
The reason I haven't put 100,000 across yet is because there's only me and Shelley that can sign it. So I've just got to get somebody else on there and we'll just take them on.
So can that be done in the next week or two or not?
Yeah, I'll try.
I mean, we're not stopping it the next
Can
week.
I put Jess on that account?
Yeah.
Is that
I mean,
okay? Because she's
look.
on the other one.
But providing that it's been done, I mean, what should be happening is that when, for example, we get the precept in early April of the 210, 30,000 it is, if we're not going to be spending any of it for 3 months,
Pop it in there.
just pop it in an investment
Yeah.
account.
And
And
then we
that's
can
what
just go out
councils,
again.
that's what councils do all the time. They do it on a daily, weekly basis.
Well,
The money marketing,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
take
yeah.
it and then you can put it back in.
Jess looks at our bank accounts every day and we do transfer money
So
back.
that's what we've got to move to.
Make money work.
Got to make the money work. Right, accounting reports.
We haven't got an investment policy yet.
Oh, investment policy, we've got to do that. Sorry.
So I think you have a draft fund, didn't you, or an outstanding one or something?
I did find, did I not find one?
No, we haven't done that
Well, you
yet.
spoke about it.
I've done a reserves policy
Yes, we've
Oh,
done
yes,
that.
not sure.
and I've done an
We've
internal
got to
control.
bring
I thought
reserve policy before council. We've done the
So that's got
agreed
to
to
go
this.
to go to full
The
council.
reserve statement, which we've agreed in finance, has got to come on to full council,
Send me a thing.
which I've now got to do that. I've got tied up on North Portion Buildings.
So that has been done, it's just got to go to full council.
Yes,
I've just got to make that amendment.
some amendments we've just got to sort out. All right. But that's a reserve. The investment policy, we've got to bring that to finance.
Yeah, I don't think we've done one. I've got to
We
see
haven't
if I
done.
can find one.
So we do that, what, by the meeting monthly, do you want to do it in February, March?
Yeah, I'll try and get
So is that basically saying what you just said about when we've got lots of money being out, we move into investment?
Move it around and
You move it around, but you don't hold more than a certain amount in current accounts, only 1%, basically.
There's models from now or others.
Oh, I just pitch one of them somewhere else.
That's fine.
Like I did with the reserve policy, all gone. And
Yeah, I
I
mean,
said
well-
that she knew a couple of councillors.
I mean, when we got reserve policy, it was fine, you got
You just
two.
adapt it, don't
You
you?
just slot one or two other bits from the second one into it.
We always catering in each other's reports.
So for years of policies.
Right.
Can't see. In fact, on my cards, Facebook group, I might say, anybody got an investment policy? Is it?
Your accounting statements and debtors and creditors. What's that kind of?
Here, this one, the last one.
There's nothing there, is there?
that's just a heading, isn't it? For where we're going next.
That's a
No,
sub-
it's in Bass's words.
Yeah, that's a subheading for our telecoms.
That's something.
So 32, accounting reports. Finance committee to find reporting to itself, and council plus review whether standing orders need to be revised. So we looked at the model orders last year in May 24. When do you want to look at these again to comply?
Well, we've changed a lot in our standing orders, haven't we? Lots has changed, so I just have to go through what I usually do, I review the policies before I bring them in May.
Yes.
To be,
So you talk about.
yeah, I usually just go
So if you can bring it to
policies.
finance in April.
Yeah.
Okay.
But those reports there are sort of cut above it. We spoke about reports further up, isn't it? The debtor and creditor reports and so on.
Well, that produces
Yeah,
clearance of income and expenditure report. Then we need to put about the actions for which they are responsible. Well, that means getting proper
reports.
Yeah,
report.
we spoke a few items back, didn't we, about
Yeah.
deciding what reports we want.
Well, finance needs to have, it was getting quarterly, some of it could be monthly, some of it could be bi-monthly, but it needs to have, before it, on a regular basis, forecast of expenditure against budgets, income against budgets, a statement of what's in the bank account, and a statement of reserves. It needs to have all that before it on a regular basis.
The thing is, like all of these things, it's the setting up that takes
It's
the time.
time.
Once it's there, it's more or less a copy and paste exercise each time.
The reports are there, we just need the reports. Have you, as a council, ever seen the internal scrutineers report? That should be sent to you quarterly.
Right, well,
Yeah,
we need
I
to.
The internal one, you mean the council one?
The council one, the councillor does, and then
we should.
it comes to council.
We
We
should,
used to.
I mean, it should go to finance, and then if there's issue, I mean, with some of this, if you've got a finance committee,
Oh,
that's where it should go to.
Right.
If there are
If there's
particular
issues.
issues we need to flag up to the
Okay,
full
yeah.
council,
Yeah.
or just to report on, that's when we do it.
Right, so that I don't think
Yeah,
finances
I
ever
think we
seen
found out last time I did it, the form that's been used for years is not effective. It needs to be some sort of much more standardised form.
Can I use the one I
Thinking
use at Alsham?
much clearer, I'll just scribbled in on the side.
Is it alright if I use the one that I had at Alsham?
If it works for you, it does. I'll start doing scrutineers. So I want to get that ready, and I'll come in and do another scrutiny.
Right, council website, full GDPR and FOI review of the website should be carried out. Arrange a review of the website.
Is there any chance we can have a new website? I hate websites.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's what we want to.
Oh my god, it's so hard to do stuff for me because it's been set up so badly.
So, how old is the website? Is it back to the dark ages?
Five,
Are we
six,
to
five,
when-
six years.
Existing one is 5 or 6 years.
It's just so old fashioned, it looks old fashioned.
Is it something that the website itself needs upgrading, or is it a chuck it in the bin and start from scratch?
I was-
I'm trying to sort of get at.
My feeling is we should start from scratch with one,
like a Wix one?
like a Wix or something similar one, with all the editing tools already there.
It's just, I mean, I use,
it as
As we
next
go
as we go.
along.
I
Too much
can't,
of it is hard code.
I can't, the little part.
Right, okay, that gives me the clue that trying to get to.
I clerk for little clerks and I use Google Fox. Now Google Fox is used for town councils because you can get the grants and that's so easy, so easy
Yeah,
to
the
do
templates,
stuff.
the templates are already there, and that's the
Yeah.
one we need.
The Wix one, or Steve Jackman does the Wix ones.
Okay.
So is there any contracts, obligations with the website that we currently have? None whatsoever? Yeah, no one.
Well,
I just
can
don't like it, that's old fashioned. I
can
don't
I
mind using
suggest
this.
that you bring a recommendation with about 3 quotes?
Yeah.
All depends where you want to go, I mean,
Would you
I
be
don't
able to maybe get that done by our next monthly meeting?
yeah, I mean, Jasmine will help. Jasmine does the website, she says it's so clunky and hard and it's been set up.
Well, you
It's
think
just
how
a
much
fact
tech
check.
has changed in
I mean,
that
if you look,
period of time.
if you look at showing them, so you look at Chrome, theirs is all bright
And people are always complaining
nice.
they can't find things,
Oh,
it's too
it's
complicated
just
to
really
use.
complicated.
Well,
We've
we
got
want
some
to bring
others.
this to finance in February or March. I don't mind. It's not
I just don't like it.
3 quotes.
I find it
Three
really
How long?
hard to
I mean,
use.
To finance.
If it's February, I mean, we have been meeting quite early in the month, so it would be early February. When we meet. Sorry?
Jasmine will do it.
How right, I know she's got a degree, is it in video games or something?
Oh, she's got a degree. She's on
She
to
was another.
but she can, yeah. I will go to Steve Jackman because he does the Wix ones. I will go
So
to
bring it
Google
to
Fox
finance,
because
bring it to finance in
Yes.
February. And if Jess, I mean,
I can do Google Fox.
if Jess or Jasmine are doing this, and they've got these reports going to finance, if they're able to, they ought to be coming to finance to talk to us about it.
Yeah.
I can't come on a Tuesday.
Right, well,
Well,
No, it's me.
the different.
But it could be earlier, couldn't it, for them sometime?
Well, I
I'll
know.
have to sort
To
it
have
out.
to sort it out, what I'm just saying to you is.
Yeah, we'll work something out.
Yeah.
We do need to check with Wayne, I think he's currently hosting the site, I'm not sure.
I'll speak
That's
to
why
Wayne.
what the obligations
What the
were.
obligations currently are there, because they will be lost in the business.
I think
Yeah.
it's just an annual.
Challenge.
We charge you
Yeah.
£15
Obviously,
a
the
month.
main notes on the portal.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just sort of, because also, I have got all the email addresses for you to send out, but it's beginning of the new year, so you're going to have council email addresses, some of you have already got them. So you're going to have Paul Brand at northwalsham-tc.org.uk, yours is already like that, .gov.uk.
Yeah, mine's already like that.
I don't actually know what.
But our website
I read
website-
myself, do I?
needs to be nwtc.gov.uk, government, because we have to be, by March, we have to be using .gov.uk, it's compliant, it's what we have to do.
So what do we do?
It's an ideal reason to be changing website providers.
Well, 'cause I did try and get ours, and it was a
Then
bit
it all
all
goes on all clean and tidy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a completely fresh new address.
Yeah.
Right, membership.
My email address is now townclerk@northwalsham.tc.
To move on to for membership and committees, I suggest that when we've got a different view, we do this at the annual meeting in May, when we've got
Yeah.
new co-opted members.
Yeah. But we are short of members, because sometimes I put it on the agenda each time, don't I?
Hmm.
You can do
Yeah,
it beforehand.
Yeah, but I think nobody else wants to step up to any other committees.
Right, member training. I know I discussed this, just wondering whether it's going to be easier to have, some of this could be public, some could be below the line, because of what we've got in mind. We need probably to have quite a frank conversation about this. Can I take it below the line?
Yeah.
Can I take on this one? I want to go, but what then is proposed will be in the public domain.
And that's to do with staff training.
No,
Staff
member
training
training.
and council training.
It's primarily member training, this one.
But it will be in the domain
It
once,
will, once we've got a
we've discussed
proposal,
it.
we will put it in the.
it will be in the minutes, won't
Be in the
it?
minutes.
It's going to be here.
Yeah.
Right, War Memorial Charity, can you just update us where we are on that, Wendy, please?
When I've got 5 minutes, I will submit the thing. What I've done, I've done a memorandum of understanding with the solicitors who Eleanor suggested it's £500. And that memorandum of understanding means that we don't have to have a separate bank account. So the money can stay within our bank account, however we do need a separate accounts package. So I've got a separate accounts for that. I've already got one.
So it's still submission to the charities.
And we have to submit those accounts separately to the Charities Commission.
Yes.
And another understanding between what parties?
The council are the trustees.
Right.
So it's a member of understanding to say that the council are the trustees and we will look after that charity and our accounts will be there. And actually, I'll take that wrong. If we have a member, an MOU, we don't have to submit a zero return to the Charity Commission. That's what it is. I will clarify that because I wasn't too, I've got the
So does the Charities
solicitors.
Commission not want to have a report? That sounds a bit strange.
We'll have to have a report, but no accounts will need to be sent.
Okay.
Because the accounts are with us, because we are the trustees for that charity. Do you understand?
So I think,
Simplifies the whole issue.
when can we bring that back to finance? What's,
Next month.
that's
Like,
early February.
The
you can do it.
solicitor's looking at it, and I don't know why that's not.
But it's going to be February, March.
But I went with the solicitor, it's £500, but I
That's
can
fine.
use that myself, and I went with the solicitor that she recommended.
What we will have to do once we've got this sorted is to publicly make a statement about
Yeah.
this, because it is, or it will, impact on either ourselves or any grants that anybody else wants for any thing on the park in relation to stuff on the park.
Because we are behind.
Because
Charities won't.
anybody that's looking at it at the moment, a grant giving body, if they go to North Walsham Memorial Park, the first thing that will flag up, they will not comply with the charity regulations. And the second thing that will could well attract them is the statements that's in the accounting report of the holding a lump sum money.
Yeah.
So it is something that's got to be resolved because it will have implications, both for us and potentially other community bodies.
I presume the charity is not battable, or is it battable? Yeah. It's probably not big enough to exemption, is it? Well, that makes things simpler anyway.
So in my little accounting package, I will have, but that doesn't matter because it all comes under us, so it will we can still claim VAT back because it's all kept within our accounts.
Yeah.
But Poppy's rent will be in there, then I'll have a proportion of how much the grounds team. Yeah, so, I don't know if Poppy's rent will actually pay for everything, but I think I've put £20,000 in the budget to go towards.
Yeah, I think the council is subsidising the charity, isn't it? Because
Yes.
the income
But
isn't enough to pay.
The income's not covered, but the insurance from Poppy should come out of that little account, that accounts and things like that, that's how it should
So
be.
essentially, it puts on the same basis as a charity that has a trading arm.
Yeah.
Each year.
But that'll be done from.
Also the insurance.
Fund 25, 26.
Like that should also show.
So we want that before finance February or March. That's no solicitors, these things get delayed.
We should have a separate finance. So we
Yeah.
know to what extent we are.
That's
We
never done.
acknowledge that we are subsidising it,
Yes,
but we ought to know to what extent.
yes.
Next year, once we've got this more detailed code, then we'll know.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah.
That is all set up there, it's already waiting, and I've got it free of charge, you don't have to pay anything extra for it.
Right, now the one that was missing was just purchase invoice retention. The Scribe accounting system allows for PDF invoices or extract to be attached to every item. Suggested action, every payment or receipt should be supported by appropriate documentation. Well, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So we just need to put that. That's what
Do we need to retain the actual physical piece of paper?
Those come in electronically anyway these days,
I like to keep this paper, when I go to look for invoices, I like looking through the papers.
Well, you
But-
can amend the retention policy to suit only keep it for 2 years or whatever.
Do you think? We don't get that many invoices.
So I scanned it, so you've got it electronically, so if anything, when I have a smoke, you've still got it all.
I just like
But do we need to keep the storage space that they end up taking up? If that's scanned, presumably we're on the multiple backups.
Goes on to the cloud.
Well, in the actions for that item, could you put amend retention policy to reflect the model?
Yeah, okay.
Have we got that, Wendy? Okay. Right, well, I think that's all 36 plus 1 that's been done apart from the 3 or 4 below the line.
Can I say, there's something that's not on here, and I think I brought it up a while back, because we use epitaph for burials, but that's really difficult to understand. The scribe are giving us that package for free, which is burials package. So we've got our allotments package with scribe, which we get free. Our burials package we can now get free with scribe. It's just about getting the mapping done across to scribe. We start
Can we bring a proposal to next one?
Just could it be free?
If it's free, you might use it.
There's a cost at the moment to get everything across.
Yeah.
Epitaph is not very nice to
It's not anything to sell, it's always free.
So that's the thing where it's going to be manually, individually taken across, or going to be
That's why we do it,
exported.
that's why we export it and market.
That's the thing that we're looking at that when I came with the other ones.
I didn't
no
like that.
worse than what we've got.
And it's free.
Anything
It will be free, it's a cost at the moment.
that we describe, they're giving us, seem to be giving us a lot of things for free. Is there a point in the future that they're suddenly going to turn around and
Which
say,
is
well,
your
actually, we now expect you to start paying? Have you addressed that with them?
Yes, I have.
Do we have a contract with them that says that this is in perpetuity, free of charge to our council? Because if you
The
have
reason
nothing
why we get it free is because they use us as guinea pigs.
Yeah, and when that changes, that's when it will change too. So it would be wise
Yeah.
to get it in writing,
Yeah.
get them to sign it in blood.
Free guinea pig status in perpetuity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll get on that.
There will be things in the future that they say, well, this is a bulk.
I think they're now going to charge us to do the mapping because it's quite a big job, so they said.
See, originally when they put it to us, that was not a charge.
Oh no, that was specifically, because this is a new thing that they've done, because it's civically with the asset register.
Right.
That's completely free, they've nearly got that up and running. This is the burials, so
But
records
again,
of deaths.
just wiser to get things signed
Oh,
off, so that if anything comes up in the future.
But
we
it's
can
a
say,
lot
well,
easier.
actually-
And there will be an upgrade that you're going to charge you for.
Yes, and there will always be something, but if we can tie them down as far as possible, I think that's a wise.
It's a lot easier system to use. It's so much more
And
friendly.
it's easier when you're using the same system.
Oh god,
for
yeah,
everything.
yeah, it is definitely.
Right,
Oh, lots.
if I can bring this part of the meeting to a close, just do a formal motion that we go into private session. Can I have a proposal? Thank you for coming. I hope you found it
Chair.
interesting.
Could I've just got 2 considerations and 2 questions, may I, before I leave?
Yes, thanks,
The 2 considerations, one you've already touched upon to do with training.
yes.
Could there be a consideration of having an amount each year for councillors for training? I think that's quite important for you all to have, and I don't feel that needs to be shortchanged.
There is a sum in the budget for member and councillor training.
Thank you. Second one is to do with events and tourism. Is there any chance in a consideration of maybe having a pot for that to support on a yearly basis North Walsham? Because what I've seen over the last year since I've kind of been becoming involved, alongside the community shop with what they donate and everything else, can it be that you guys can be a little bit generous to events and tourism to support what is already here? So,
There is a budget for events of 25,000 in the
Really?
budget for 25-26, which is to provide the financial support for what comes out of the events working party, which you are a member of.
right, I didn't know about the 25,000.
But you don't get that, so you.
No, but it's just a consideration with all what you're spending on cemeteries. You know, what about us living? You know, let's give back to the town a little bit. Let's support what is already there. So
Well,
25 grand is a good start.
Right, the other events that we are in the budget to support. This is in the core budget. Anybody can apply for a grant. There's also a grant budget of 7,000. And they can apply for up to £700.
Right.
But there is also in the core budget what we call donations, and that covers Children's Day.
Mm-hmm.
It covers Good Neighbours. It covers North Norfolk Community Transport, and it covers North Walsham Blue. And providing they submit accounts and a report for their activities, and the council is satisfied with it, shouldn't be a reason why it shouldn't get the kind of information, then they automatically get grants, which varies somewhere between 1,000 and 3,000.
Okay.
And there is nothing to prevent the council considering grants to further bodies that produce events in the town, if they come forward with a request, and
Okay.
we have the funding to do it.
Okay. Thank you. First question. In the first couple of numbers that you said, you said a 4-letter thing, or something G, D, something C.
AGAM?
Sorry?
Was it the AGAM?
I don't know. It was, what does that actually mean? That,
Is it general grant competence?
yes, yes. What, could you explain that?
It means that the council can spend their money, they don't have to have powers to spend their money. So with the Local
Okay.
Government Act of 1972, you can only spend your money on certain things
Right.
that they have a power to spend, and that is all down in legislation. If you've got general power of competence, you can spend your money on whatever you like.
Okay.
We're meeting.
With full council.
Okay. So,
Thank you.
like you wouldn't be allowed to help the school, for instance. You wouldn't be. You have to be very careful on what you spend your money on. And I have a big yellow book that I would have to check to make sure that you were spending your money. So it's very important that town councils have their general power of competence.
Right.
Little councils don't have to have it so much because they can only do street lights or playgrounds or open spaces and things like that, so they wouldn't be able to spend money on other stuff. Whereas town councils can. So if we didn't have our general power competence, we wouldn't be able to give a grant of money to do the pavements in the King's Arm Street, things like that.
If we
Right.
want to.
If you want to, full council.
We have to have the general power competence to have a farmer's market and have a market.
So presumably the supporting North Blue, that also requires
General power competence.
Right.
We provided
We
money.
need to have a qualified clerk
Yeah.
and 2/3 elected members.
Okay.
But because so I'm not qualified, I will be by the end of January, in February. But you still got it because the previous clerk had it, and it doesn't change. You keep that general power competence for 4 years
Right.
until the next elections.
Okay. It's just that some of your abbreviations are like, I don't know what the hell
The
it is.
AGA, it stands for the Annual Governance
And you go
Regulation Governance.
County regular. It's a report that has to be prepared by every town and parish council and sent to the national auditors.
Yeah,
And
external
it's
audit.
all external auditors, and it's also in the public record.
Okay. Thank you.
And any member of
My last question is to Paul. What you said earlier about the elections and the district, can you just break that down a little bit more?
In what way?
With how I don't know, because you said it so fast, I thought I'd really like to hear a little bit more about that. But
I think when you're right, it's about the local government reform that's likely to take place. Is that it?
no, I thought, is that what you were talking? I thought you were talking about next year's elections and with district and how.
No, it's looking ahead to the government's proposing devolution.
Yes.
Which doesn't mean giving power down to local people, it means concentrating it. So either in Norwich, with a single vast county council covering everything, or possibly a greater Norwich and East Norfolk and West Norfolk, we don't know. But it would involve district councils disappearing, be replaced by these big unitary all-powerful authorities. How that would impact on town and parish councils, we have no idea at this stage.
the government
It's government policy and,
the government consultation paper on it does not make any reference to town or parish councils.
Right. Okay. Well, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Hopefully didn't bore you too much.
No, I'm a bit of a geek, I'm afraid. I do find them interesting, but thank you all.
See you on Thursday.
Absolutely. See you later. There we go. And that's that for the evening.